I'm Josh, and I'm doing it.
I'm Banks. I am doing it also. Odd places going.
Viral. What's up, man?
All right. So, nature.
Yeah.
All right. I'm just going to throw it out there. Here we go. I think that the most truthful thing is nature.
I agree. It's reality. Nature is reality, and reality is natural.
Okay. All right. So then, why are humans liars? Why do we lie?
Why do we lie? Lots of reasons. Here's the real question, though. Is it natural to lie?
Well, I mean, if nature is honest, if nature is has integrity, complete, let's say nature has complete integrity,
Yeah.
to lie is not natural.
Okay.
So then why do we lie?
Well, then the only people we could lie to is ourselves, right? We can lie to ourselves about nature, but nature will never lie to us. I think that's the key. Nature doesn't lie, but human beings, we lie.
Okay, so we lie to because of our ego,
Yeah.
because
Our
power.
comprehension? No, our comprehension too. We lie because we can't comprehend nature, so we make up stories. Right?
Okay,
Aren't there cultures that think there's like a god of the sun because they don't understand this big fiery ball, so they lie to themselves about being god of the sun, and that's how they are able to comprehend something incomprehensible to
right,
them.
right. Uh, we all okay, got it. However, we are at the pinnacle of lying right now.
Oh yeah.
And we laugh at it. if
We laugh because otherwise we're gonna cry. It's the only two choices. I don't cry like that.
all right. How do we get on the same page? How do we?
We got we got to stop lying to ourselves. We've got to. Here's what I think happened. We kind of talked about this before. I think we're afraid of nature. We're afraid of the truth. Let's put it where it is. We're actually afraid of the truth. So we lie to ourselves so we don't have to deal with the truth. But the truth always shows up. It's always going to come after us. Nature's always going to win. And then we get the beating like we're getting now with COVID. We get punched in the face, kicked in the groin. We come to some level of truth, only just enough to get past the pandemic or what we need to, and then we go back to lying to ourselves. It's the human condition, I think.
Well, that doesn't make sense though, because if we are nature, because we are part of nature, and nature does not lie, then we do not lie. Something has definitely gone wrong for us to get to a point where we lie. Or maybe we just don't understand. Maybe we don't understand.
I think we start off as nature. I still think we detach ourselves. We actively detach ourselves from nature.
Okay.
You're right. A newborn doesn't lie. A newborn is 100% honest.
Right.
And
Right.
then we start lying.
Once we become indoctrinated socially, we become liars. So we are at a we're at a threshold now of lying. However, here you go. Here you go. I give a lot of credit to people who have different perspectives. Got it. You have a different perspective than me on many things. We can talk about it. We can find out where we match or where we align, where we're parallel, and where we're not. When you and I meet at a stoplight and my light says red and your light says green, you know you can go. I know I have to stop. That's the simplest, truest. We're both in the same perspective. However, that's the truth. The truth is red, green.
Okay. I can
Okay.
go along with that.
Right. So how do we get to that point where we're at the stoplight in our civil discourse? How do
Have
we
you
get
ever
to the
heard of,
stoplight?
well, have you ever heard of the intent of the law versus the letter of the law? So the letter of the law says you need to stop, I should go. I think we start screwing with the intent. I think we say, well, we know it's red, but that doesn't apply to me. I'm in a rush, so I'm going to go anyways, right? And then we get into trouble. Then we get collisions and
That's
crashes.
lying. That's
It's lying.
lying.
It's lying to yourself, though, right? You're lying to yourself. It's rationalization. That's the technical term for it.
All right. So what do we do? Integrity Institute. We create an Integrity Institute where you're honest with yourself, and then you become honest with everybody around you.
That's a fancy way of doing it, I guess. I'd rather just go around and kick people in the groin and shake them and say, what the hell is wrong with you? Why are you denying nature? Why do you deny science? Why do you deny everything that you know is true? I mean, that's to me is a little simpler. It's just more straightforward.
Yeah, that you'll get arrested for that. Why not do it the fancy way? Why not create an institution where you go and you learn integrity?
Isn't that called, isn't that what school is supposed to be? I know it's not what it is, but why can't we do that in school? Why can't we teach life and integrity and money and all these important, ethics and morals in school?
All right. I wish that was the case. I wish. I mean, so it is taught. I'm sure it's taught out there, and life teaches us this. In time, we learn that. Guess what? Nature wins. Nature just wins. The simple things, though, in life, the simple things like integrity, like listening, like courtesy, like being nice, which is the same thing as courtesy. Those are the things, though, that make us apart. I mean, that shows the difference. I mean, how much integrity do you have compared to? And I'm not big into comparison, but however, that's what makes you different than anybody else is how much integrity you have, how much you stay within the integrity of the law of nature. And by the way, nature
Yes,
is law, is the law. Nature is the law.
absolutely. The ultimate law is the ultimate law.
Yeah.
And yet, the human condition, in my opinion, is suffering. I hate to say it. The human condition is one of suffering. If we're not suffering, we're not happy.
I have to argue that. No,
Well,
I mean,
and a really poor example, a good example, but an unfortunate example, are victims of domestic violence. That some of them, they almost get their self-worth from the violence, and it's terrible. Like they can't sleep at night without a good beating, kind of thing. And it's terrible to even say or to think about. But I think that's how we are as a human race. I think we almost expect suffering, and when things get too good, we're going to screw it up. We have to. We
okay.
have to.
So from my understanding, the Buddhist philosophy, and I'm not a Buddhist, I've only read a little bit about it, is that life, the three laws, I guess. Life is suffering. Make the best of it.
Yeah.
And I agree to that to a certain extent. Life is suffering. I mean, how do we learn if not to suffer? We suffer, we accomplish, we overcome a barrier or an obstacle, and
Right.
then bingo, we go on, and we're going to hit another one. We're just going to. This is what life's all about: is about hitting these obstacles. So life is suffering. However, all right. Life is suffering. I believe you learn when you suffer. You learn when you lose. You learn when you fall. You fail.
Right.
And that's good. I mean, because I believe that we're here to learn. We're here to grapple with our lives and figure out how it works and figure this whole thing out. So we're learning. The thing is, I argue your point about people wanting to suffer. I don't think they want to suffer. I don't want to suffer. I would love to learn without having to suffer.
Yes. No, I don't think we want to necessarily. I think we feel like we need to. We're almost resigned to it. It's almost kind of a resignation where we're just that's what life is. We expect it. How about that? We don't want it, but we expect it.
I don't expect suffering.
Maybe not you in particular, but overall, it's we expect it, and we almost need it, right? We almost need to get kicked in the ass every now and then, get reminded, humble us. It's a humbling experience to get. That 2020 has been very humbling for a lot of people.
Okay.
I
Has it
think we
been
needed it.
humbling to you?
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. I feel,
yeah,
I
yeah.
mean,
It's
I
I'm
feel,
more awestruck. I'm just very awestruck at the entire year. All the stuff that's happened. It's just interesting to me. But yeah,
oh, oh,
awestruck.
wow. I'm Banks.
I'm Josh.
Odd places. Going, well, I think that's maybe it's that way. Maybe, no, that's that way.